Hey everybody, it's Aaronator here, and we got our 5th episode of our Vancouver Canucks GM mode commentary here on the PS4. Guys, in the last episode, we went and did the draft, the lovely, great year 1 draft, and I'm going to let you guys know, make sure you go check out last episode, because it was pretty fun, intense. You didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I'm going to let you know right now. Spoiler alert, make sure you go check it out quickly. We got Logan Brown as our first round pick. Centerman from the Windsor Spitfires. He's big. He's a playmaker. He brings you basically what I like to have as a first line center. Again, Horvat could be that guy, and so could McCann had we not traded him, but we also made the good Branson trade. So there were lots of stuff that we did in the last episode. I decided, guys, to just sim up to the free agency. I just wanted to make it easier for you guys to see, or just to let you guys know who we did and didn't sign. I did not sign Ronald Keddins. I did not sign Dan Hamhuis or Taylor Fedden, which I actually might change my mind about signing Fedden because we could use another defenseman for the AHL possibly. Our goalies are set, and forwards wise, I think we're pretty much. I don't think there was any too big signings that we really made. I just decided that Kennins didn't really make sense just because we may need to put him. He may want to play in the NHL. We'll have to see about that. But so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 of these guys that are going to be on our NHL roster. Gianta may play on the NHL, but I'll just go off of who I know is going to play. We got the 5 here. We got Dorsett 6. Besser could be 7. I'm just going to, out of all these forwards, I'm sure one of them will make it, so 7. We're going to have 8, 9, 10, 11. Vey I signed just for giggles and AHL first line time and stuff like that. And then 12. So, I mean, we have a couple guys who could play depth and a couple guys who could play as the top line guys. But so it's, for me, it's either getting a top 6 forward or also a fourth line center, because we don't really exactly have someone. I mean, we could keep Vey at the fourth line center, or we could also move Brendan Gaunce to center, or I don't see anybody else. It would probably be one of those guys. I know Vertana has good faceoffs, but he's not a centerman. He doesn't play center. So we'll have to go off of what we have. I know we don't need too many forwards, but we can definitely look at signing some guys, and of course prospects. So let's go and check out what we got. I think defense should be okay. Maybe some depth again, and we'll have to look. So we got Nikita Kucherov, right wing sniper, RFA. I honestly, guys, was thinking, because I knew that Tampa Bay had quite a couple guys that they had to sign. So Kucherov could be on our list of guys to sign, because he definitely would be worth it. I think if I were signing Kucherov, I'd make a long-term deal. Wait, let's just double-check and see what his stats were like. -2. He was a plus 19, 68 points. He might have been on the first line, but he definitely played well. Sorry for the stoppage there, guys. I just had a bit of an interruption, obviously. So, as I was saying, Kucherov is definitely a potential fit. He fits the role as a top line, first, second line scoring guy that the Canucks desperately need. I mean, size, 5'11", 184. He's okay. He's more meant to score goals. So, and then again, I actually forgot. I was completely thinking about this. We also need a center. So, I mean, let's just double check the RFAs and see who there is. Yeah, there's only Kucherov really, and a couple of depth guys. Forsberg. Now let's get into UFAs. So there's no goalies. We don't really need a goalie. We may sign an AHL guy, but I mean, we got Demko and stuff, and Backman, so we should be set. Eric Staal was also a potential fit, being a center, so that could be a good spot considering he's big and he brings an offensive touch. Not much of a goal scoring rule, but we'll have to hope that Daniel Sedin and or whoever else plays in that top 6 can fill the void for what we need. I'm just actually going to look in rules, because I know sometimes even Troy Brouwer is up for grabs, but he is not. I do not see him. Yeah, usually there's a couple of like forwards or something that are like in the 70s or 80s, and they are second liners, but they're there. So there wasn't really anybody there. Again, we don't need a defenseman. I don't see anybody that we really need. I might actually go and sign. You know what? Let's just look at prospects for a second. Goalies, prospects. Again, I wouldn't mind signing actually a goalie prospect just because we could use some. I mean, the only one here is that Eric? No, it's a different Erickson. Erickson Byzantine, 77 overall. Yeah. There's high backups here. 19-year-old Liam Herbst, I believe, right-handed glove. A couple righty gloves. We could look at that. Jimmy VC. So he has 2 offers. That's good. He's 78 overall. He wants a maxed out deal probably. Oh, that's one way. He wants a one-way deal? No way. That's surprising. Well, not surprising, but you know what? I'm gonna actually sign him. I'm gonna try and sign him. Let's go 0.975. 0.95. I don't want to be unfair. Only if he wants to come. So 0.975 for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years works, and we can hope he signs. If he signs, then good. If he doesn't, you know what? I'm definitely okay with that because we never had one in the first place. So he may not even fit with our team that well, considering we have a lot of snipers. So if he doesn't sign, you know what? That's not the end of the world. There's a couple of top 9 prospects here. I think we got to look at what we could be needing for the future, like depth-wise, like some of these guys. If there's a right wing or a left wing or even center, depends if we actually need them, right? So you don't just sign them. I think we should. I mean, we can definitely look at that in a bit, but let's focus on getting the guys for our team. So, for me, do we want to make a move for Kucherov? So he would probably be 6.5. He's 23 years old. We could go 2 years. That way it's a bit less, and also he's 23 years old, so he might still be an RFA, so that could be good. 2 years is good too. So 6 million. Let's see how much we'd have to trade. A first and a third for this year. I don't think we can do that. I think no matter what, we'd have to give up a first round pick for Kucherov. I mean, we have a lot of forward positions anyways, and we need to fit in a centerman. So let's focus more on centers. I will just look at straight up centers because I don't know if Staal isn't really that guy, and I mean, there's really nothing here at all. Potential wise, is there any centers? Really, there's not much. Cody Hodgson, there you go. Let's get him as our first line center. Yeah, there's not really anything at all center wise. So I think Staal is the only one. I mean, I know Sabatka has good face-offs, but I think Eric Staal is the best fit, honestly. I had a feeling that Staal or like Franz Nielsen was probably the best bet of guys to sign. So you know what? I will sign Eric Staal. He wants 3 years. 3 years is probably a good bet to wait for Logan Brown and any other centers that we got. So I think that should be good. Make sure we get him 5.5. I know he signed like 2-3 years at 3.5, but you know what? This is what he wants. He wants 5 million, and we need a center, so I'm okay with giving him this much. 5.5. No one's interested. Oh, New Jersey is. Does he want to play here? I do really need a center. Like, remember guys, this is a free center. We can trade for a center, but you know what? Let's just go look and see. Is there any other centers we could trade for? We'll just go look at straight up centers, and then we'll look at potentials, guys with contract situations that are need fixing and stuff like that. So Martin Hansel, I know he doesn't have too many years left, but 2-way forward, more of a second liner. And I mean, that's not the end of the world. I mean, so is what's his face, but oh yeah, I was sort of thinking about this. David Krejci. 5 years. I sort of don't want him for 5 years. I also could look at getting Ryan Spooner. That could be a potential option. He has the offensive ability. I don't want to push him into a role that's not enough for him. He is 84, and he may stay at 84. So Krejci is already there, right? So, I mean, they don't want to give him up, though. It says that they don't want to give up. So Spooner is less trade value than Kovalevich, and that might be a better fit. He does have better face-offs, a bit better, like physically and defensively. So, I mean, Spooner. What do they want from us? We'd have to probably look at seeing what would they want. They would probably want a defenseman. So an Edler maybe. Edler for Spooner. I don't see anything. Triamkin, Virtanen. I mean, that's. I'm not really willing to give up those kind of players at this point. So, again, that's why I'm sort of more on leaning towards just not making a move. Centers here in Buffalo. They got a couple centers, but nothing really available. Centers in Carolina. No, they don't have anything. You got to also look, I mean, what is a team? A team's not just going to trade a forward. Like, Boston would sort of make sense just because they have so many centers. Sam Bennett, no, 2 centers. That's fine. If they have 3 centers, sort of, then that would make more sense. So, McKinnon and Duchesne. They have McKinnon signed long-term, don't they? Yeah. Or no, 3 years. Soderberg. Yeah. Here, Dallas. Eakin, Spezza, nope. Zetterberg. Zetterberg is a center. You get the Super Swedes. He would be cheaper. Except 5 years at around $6 million. If he does stay around for another 3 years, he would drop, and I don't really want that cap hit. Now, this is an interesting situation. Boston. Or Edmonton. What the heck, Boston? Edmonton. They even have Dubois. But they don't want to trade anybody. So you guys can let me know what you think about that. I mean, Draisaitl I'd probably move to the wing or something. Or, I mean, Draisaitl could be moved to the wing. You could also have Nugent Hopkins in there. And, or, what's his face? The other guy. I don't even remember. Okay, but Trocheck, 2 years, 6 mil. Oh, yeah, he's locked up. I think Dubois you could trade for Dubois. That definitely, but that's a lot of trade value you're giving up, and we already have Logan Brown. So, I mean, what are you doing? Franz Nielsen's in Minnesota, so they re-signed him 3 years at 2.4. No way, that's crazy. Let's see, Galchenyuk. Yeah, there's nothing there. New Jersey. Do they got anybody? No, not really. Nashville centers. Johansson, we could trade for Johansson. There were rumors of getting trade for Johansson, but no, they wouldn't move him. Islanders, Clayton Keller and Barzal. We could look at Barzal, Matthew Barzal. Good offensive stats. Yeah. I mean, I would look more. I want a guy more who's ready because we have Logan Brown, right? So I don't think there's any point to make any other moves unless we're getting a legitimate first-line center. And that could be in Turris and or Zibanejad, but I mean, 2 years left, 1 year left. Maybe they need cap space eventually. So, but they'd probably look to trade a guy like Phaneuf. Well, maybe not Phaneuf, but someone. Centers in there. I don't see anybody. Malkin. Trade for Malkin, guys. What do you think? Bonino. Make him our first-line center. Hurdle. Couture. Yeah, not much there. St. Louis. They have a lot of prospects. Stastny, Paul Stastny. They did sign Backus. Look at that. Good for them. Tampa Bay. So this could be interesting. Maybe they need the cap space in order to sign a guy like Kucherov. Johnson's trade value is a bit lower. Filppula, just because of the cap space. We can work with that. It would make more sense if they wanted to give him up. They have a lot of guys they need to sign. They'll probably just wait for Kucherov, and we'll have to see. Toronto, do they got anything? Mitch Marner will be up soon. Kadri? I mean, Kadri wouldn't be horrible. 6 years. He's not really a guaranteed first liner though, and that's sort of. I mean, his trade value is lower, and there's a chance there, but that could be interesting. Scheifele, 4 years. Yeah, they locked him up. They locked him up for good. Little, they probably wouldn't look to trade him. He's got too much good morale and stuff. Now Kuznetsov's interesting, but I mean, if they can just sign him, even 4.7 added, maybe about 3 million added to that 3 million by next year. So yeah, I don't see anything, guys. So there's Edmonton, who has a lot of centers, more like Draisaitl or Nugent Hopkins. They don't want to give up Dubois a lot, and then Krejci or Spooner or Kadri. There's a couple different centers we go after, but you know what? I just wanted to even look at potential trade possibilities. I am going to sign a center here, and that is going to be Eric Staal. It says he's a left wing, but he has the face-offs, and he was a center for most of his career. So we need to pay him because we need the space. So can we get even 2 years? I wonder if 2 years would be a good idea, but 3 or 4. I was suspecting 3 or 4. 4 years might be good too because he wants less. So that way we can go 5 million for 4 years, and then we can trade him within the third year. But he may have dropped by then. He could be a top 6 by the end here. So I think it's better that we give him 3 years. 5.5. Hope he signs. I think that is how much I want to pay him. I won't do too much because then he might be untradeable if he drops within the next season or two. So let's see if we get Eric Staal on our team. We'll just go up to the 5th or something. Let's see. Eric Staal, his decision. Jimmy Vesey signs with the Vancouver Canucks. Look at that. Not bad. So we'll have to figure out who's going to be our snipers in our top 6 for next year. Eric Staal signs. That's very nice. I'm glad that he signed. That's good. We have a center now. We can move him to center. And is there anything else we need? Maybe defenseman, depth defenseman. I think we can. Is there any prospect defenseman? Any depth there? 21, 20, 24 years old. Alt. Defensive defenseman. Dylan Olsen. I don't see anything. Stanton. Is there any like high 7th? Maybe then they could boost up into high top 6 and then potential really good player. I don't see anything. Nope. Okay, so you know, let's try signing Fedden back. I think that might help morale in the AHL, and or maybe we could sign Christian Ehrhoff, offensive defenseman. We could use him in the AHL. But I know he's usually a minus lot, so sorry Nathan, not gonna happen. We'll do Fedden, sign him for 1 year. Nope, you just get 1 year. And that should be pretty much it. Right wingers, prospects, anything here. 71 overall. Let's see his stats. Playmaker. We could use a playmaker, and he has some good all-around stats. Two-way forward, good defensive awareness there, and solid all-around stats. And Harry Corey, and he's a bit more physical, but not much defensive in there. Let's I like Osmick. We'll do a 20. He's a 20-year-old, so more NHL or more AHL ready, I guess. Left wings prospects. Justin Kirkland. More again, fast skater, hard shooter. That would be within the next couple years. Low top 9, I don't see anything really good in that. Logan Sutter, he's more of just a really physical guy. Okay, well, you know what? We don't really need to sign too much anymore anyways. Kucherov's always a possibility. Maybe you guys think we should even help out Tampa Bay by trading for either Filppula or Johnson. We'll have to see. Jimmy Vesey, I'm honored you chose to offer me a contract. You won't regret it. I have my you perform at a high level for this team, so don't let slack off there. You need to prove out on the ice before the judge the value of your signing. You know what? Number two. No effects, but number 2. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so you know what? I think that's time. We can now sim to the season. So you know what? I'll cut it out for you guys, and I will see you there. Never mind, I just muted my mic, but you know what? I turned it back on because we just got a trade for Daniel Sedin. Wow. San Jose's first round pick. Wow. That's basically throwing away the season right there. Okay, guys, I guess I should have asked you this. I mean, Daniel Sedin's basically a Canuck for life. I mean, Henrik Steen just retired, but should we even for like the trade deadline or maybe the draft if he hasn't retired by next season, should we trade him at some point? I'm not going to accept this trade, obviously. It just came out of nowhere, but yeah, cool. Oh, I forgot to actually check those also. So we signed those two guys. And okay, now we will skip. If there's a trade that comes up, then I'll show it to you guys, but otherwise, see you there. Hey guys, we are back, and that was actually a lot quicker than I expected, obviously. I mean, the sim is really improved, so that's nice. But anyways, so let's go and check out our roster, see who got better, see who got worse. By Archie, Goodbranson. I'm seeing a couple names here that are higher overall. Larson, 83 overall. He might be 82 just because of morale. Roden, VC, a couple guys. Let's see in the system. Horvat, Triamkin's 85, Hutton is 85, and Horvat's 85. Granlund's 83, Virtanen 82, Edom 81, Besser 80. We got a lot of guys who could step into the lineup. Cool, that's awesome. Okay, so Markstrom's 84. And that's not bad. That's good. That's very good. Let's go and fix up all the guys that we need to be in the NHL and in the AHL. Biega is our depth defenseman. So we'll get him as our 7th guy there. And there you go. Nielsen's actually 78 overall. That's good for him. He's like he's only a 70. Okay, so maybe he's 77 overall. But, okay. That's good. Forwards, we can go and select the top forwards here. Horvat, Granlund, Virtanen. Edom will probably come up as well, but I don't have any. There's a couple of interesting guys like VC and Roden. I want to ask you guys what you think about that. For now, I'll just move all the guys that I think will not play on our team. I mean, Roden might play on the team, but I'm just gonna move him down for now. I want to have about 13 forwards, and I think that we'll have an interesting amount. Gauntz, is he a 4th liner? Yes, he is. So I will move up Gauntz, I believe, and that should be enough. So we're around the 11 million mark. We're not too close to the cap floor or into the, I guess, the cap ceiling. So that's good. We're in the middle, so we have lots of cap space though, if in case we make a trade or made a signing for next year or something like that. So there you go. Forwards, defensemen. Do we have 12 forwards up or 13? We only have 12. So looking more at a guy who would be a depth player for us. I'm looking at Jimmy VC possibly. Yeah, VC would be interesting. I'm wondering where we should play him in the NHL or the AHL. I'm always confused about the depth forwards a bit more. Maybe Gianta. Roden. I mean, Roden has pretty good stats, so I wouldn't mind playing him on like the 3rd line or something. So you know what? I'll just move up Roden for now because I think I like to play him since he's a bit older, anyways. Like besides, he is probably gonna play here anyways. And I know you guys. Maybe a couple of you guys are asking me why I still have Higgins. I decided not to buy him out. Anything like up to the draft, aside from the Goodbranson trade, really. I mean, that was before the draft. That was like during the playoffs. But anything at the draft and on is basically stuff that is from my tenure. That's stuff that I did. So, yeah. So, I just realized that it's probably it probably already named our captain. But I want to actually make sure that I can name our captain. I'm not actually going to name our captain. I'm just saying captain. But we're gonna have 3 assistants probably, and that'll likely be. I know Tanev, I think, deserves an assistancy. I know you guys are probably thinking more Edler, but I mean, even in real life, if I could name an assistant like, if I'm talking real life, if there's any, because there's like probably 4 guys I'd move, I'd probably just give the assistant captaincy to Burrows in real life, just because I think, like, he usually, if the captain or an assistant captain's gone from a game due to injury or just being scratched or something, then Burrows is usually the replacement for that game. So, yeah, he's usually an A at least. And then, yeah, okay, so we'll move in Triumphant. Don't worry, I'm just trying to fill up the AHL line so I can, because I know if you do best lines, like best lines, it, I guess, chose the best captain or something. Like, is that really good? I don't want that really. So, looks like our our NHL team should be pretty good though. I just want to make sure I have it on Vancouver, and it decided to make Eric Staal the captain. See, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What I would do is, I think for now I'm not going to give the captaincy to Daniel Steen. I'm going to give an assistant captaincy to Tanev, and assistant captaincy to, I could do Edler and Tanev. I think Burrows probably deserves one. You might be thinking Staal, but I mean, he just came here, right? So, Tanev, Edler. You know what? I'll give it. I'll give Tanev the assistant captaincy, because in the long term, I would like to have assistant captaincy on Tanev, and I know I'd like to have a captaincy on Horvat as well. Hopefully, if he gets better. But Eric Staal loses morale for being stripped of the captaincy. You weren't given, like, that's the dumbest thing. The game should just leave it alone, or don't make it so then they drop. Because watch, if I go to Eric Staal right now, okay, so he is still 86. So many times do I see a guy like Eric Staal, or if I strip the captaincy off a guy, I've seen him drop down to like super low overall, and it's like, dude, that was just some dumb coach or something, or dumb assistant GM that's just like best lines, and then boom, they give you it. Or sometimes they just give you it. Yeah, but that's just I don't like that part. Just allow us to make the captaincy. Like, the game should just show up like, who would you like to make the assistant captain or the captain for the next season, and then let us do it. So I just wish they would do that instead of just giving the captaincy out to someone. Then you have to strip it off him because he's only either been there for a day, or you don't think he deserves it, or you just don't want to have him being the assistant captain or something. So I just don't like that about the game. That's probably the worst. That's one of my worst critiques about GM mode. You believe it? I usually just ignore it anymore and just pretend that the captaincy belongs to Horvat within 3 years. Because then, I mean, I'll make a signing and there'll be a depth forward, and it's just like, let's give it to him because no one really cares. But yeah, so that should be it. I think this should be sort of the lineup. I'd like to know what you guys think about possibly giving Jimmy Vesey a spot. Even some of our younger guys like Besser. I just leave him because he's a minor scorer. But probably not Grenier or Zalewski. Probably the only guys I would bring up are possibly Higgins, just as a depth forward. I'd rather keep him in the AHL probably. Giunta and or Vesey. And yeah, that's probably all the NHL guys I'd bring up. Or you guys can maybe let me know if you think that this is good for now. But also, who should be the depth guy, and that would either be Gauntz or Roden probably, or Dorset even, or Edom. We can always move out the more offensive players and keep them on the third line so they're not on the fourth line, because they're more offensive players, some of them. Best lines, and what? See, this is my point. What the heck, Eric Staal, get out of here! I'm going to trade you if you keep on doing this. Like, seriously, I just made the captains how I want them to be, and it just got rid of them. Like, what the heck? Game, EA, you gotta fix that. That's like the worst. You know what, guys? Pretend, you know what? We're just gonna go back to our pretending mode. Right now, our assistant captains are Daniel Sedin, Chris Tanev, and who's the last guy? Who is it? Burrows. Burrows is the last guy. Or you guys can just imagine it's Horvat or Edler, because I know Nathan likes Edler and I like Horvat, and maybe you guys believe that Horvat. I don't know. I don't care. Maybe Hansen. You know what? Hansen even could deserve the assistant captaincy. But anyways, guys, I think I am just going to leave it at that. That should be the video. And, yeah, what do you guys think of what we should do for the Lions? I will make Eric Staal a center. We'll probably have to move Granlund to the right or left wing, because he doesn't even have that great faceoffs anyways. So it'll probably be Horvat as a second line center, so that's good. I want to give him as much support as possible. I know I'm going to keep Barchi there. We could move Hansen on the first line right wing, or someone else. I mean, we could also just move Sutter to the right wing and make him first line right wing, but you guys can let me know what you think about that. Granlund could be a right winger, maybe a left winger. We'll have to see. Gauntz, we'll move him at center because he is more of a center. I think that should be good. Roden can get a spot somewhere. Edom's more of a physical guy again, so Defense, Edler, Tanev, Hutton. Ooh, Hutton's medium elite. That is nice. Guys, we may have our defensive pairing for the future. I mean, we'll have to see how good Branson gets, but that's interesting. And then Triamkin as well. That's crazy. That's very, very interesting. And Larson got pretty good as well. So you guys can let me know what you think about that. Goalies, you got Miller and Markstrom. Miller is a fringe starter, but he should be okay. We can obviously give Markstrom more starts if we feel. But that should be around pretty much it. Our AHL team's looking pretty good as well. Goalies, very nice. Demko is going to be... You guys can let me know if you think... I mean, Demko is a minor backup, it says, so we could probably play him as a backup, but whatever you guys think. So that should be the end of the episode, guys. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the signings we made and possible lineups that we could have. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.